Howdy friends, my name's Carl. Today we've got Mike again with us. Mike, you are just the permanent second host. I keep introducing you like there's going to be someone different.
A special guest.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
There might be one day.
One
But not
day.
this day. Today I'm here.
Today. I look like I've regressed by about 10 years. I've had a clean shave. Not on purpose. My shaver broke. So
It's always a sad time, you know, if you just go a bit too far and
that's it. It's gone.
ooh,
It's gone.
sad times.
So last
good,
episode, we did our sort of how cool would it be if, and it was sort of all our thoughts and sort of speculation and wishes for the ranchers. And if you have watched that, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And today we thought we'd actually discuss what's in the game and just a bit of sort of the hard facts, the truths.
Yeah.
So we'll bring it onto this screen. This is I was going to say a printout. It's not a printout. It's a PNG that Ethan put into the facts channel on the Discord. And this is just sort of highlighting what has been confirmed so far. So we'll go from the beginning and then we'll sort of discuss it and we can go from there, can't we? So first on the list is the open world. And they have stated that the map size will be 16 square kilometers or 6.1 something miles, I think it was when I was looking at it. Big. How big is that? Is that like real life miles?
Yeah.
Is it
so
really?
in scale of your character, so you can see like the picture of the house there. So that person, it's in scale, the 1-to-1 scale. So whatever a step is in game is the equivalent.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So
that's how it
you got to think like, well, put it like 16 kilometers. You're going for our local area. We're going past our nearest city of Lancaster. Like you're going.
Yeah.
You're almost not quite. You probably easily get halfway up to like Preston. Easy.
Not 16. Not 6 miles though.
Yeah, you would. It's 3 miles to Lancaster for us.
No. Is it?
Yeah.
You won't get to. No, it's not 6 miles from here to near Preston.
I mean, I can Google it for you whilst you chat about it, and we could do the conversions.
We can do it. We'll do it.
Should I put in whilst we'll talk about it, and our secret lens will work out 16 kilometers from where we are. I won't disclose our location, and then see how far we could get.
Yeah. Right. Okay, that's a good idea. The second thing on the list is your player farm, obviously.
Yeah.
And we have a few zones. So the zones that have been confirmed are a countryside zone.
Yeah.
A town centre. But I don't think that's a starting zone, town centre. I think that is just you know what I mean? I think that's the hub. I think that's what that means.
Yeah, that'll be where you've seen the deliveries of that trailer.
Yeah, that's where the NPCs live. So yeah, town centre, a beach zone, and 2 forest zones that are randomly generated. 2 forest zones, and then my mouth is not working today.
But I believe it's because you've lost your beard. It's just gone.
my security blanket.
Yeah.
And 2 forest zones, and then randomly generated mines and islands, which is exciting. So, yeah, and I'm excited to see the sort of the islands thing. I imagine will work like Animal Crossing. Oh no, but you'll be able to free roam, won't you? So I wonder if you'll just stumble across these sort of randomly generated islands when you go out on a boat or something.
In my head, the way, because it says randomly generated, I imagine the way it plays out in my head is, you know, like you go into a dungeon, that'll be randomly generated. I imagine there'll be like a dock. So you'll have the land and the lakes, like you're saying, for boats and fishing, but I imagine it'll be like you get in the dock, kind of like Animal Crossing, but like, do you want to go and visit an island? And it'll load you into a thing, and you maybe, but yeah, it'd be cool if you were just like every time you go round your land and you go off at the shore, if it just randomly
procedurally generated stuff sort of once you're out at sea, once you get past your island, like you said, you could like leave the dock, and then from the dock, it procedurally generates, islands and stuff to find, which is cool.
Yeah.
The two forest zones, I want to know the difference. What, you know what I mean? I wonder if one's like higher, because I really want sort of like, I want a bit of travel into town. I don't want it to be just like I'm 2 streets away from town. I'd love it to be a bit of a trek.
You'd hope it is as well, because like you say, you wouldn't build a ranch on the outskirts of a town. Like that classic thing of, especially if you were to take the American kind of idea, is like you've got the town, and then you go down that long dusty road, and then you see that a little house with a little awning and a little windmill, but that's like out of the way, isn't it? And like you say, it'd be good to have that, and you could like have a forest almost in between, so you've got a road. It's not like you're trailing everywhere, but yeah, in terms of the two zones, I don't know whether there's just different varieties of trees,
that's
wildlife, like whether one's purely a hunting zone, or like how they distinguish maybe that kind of. But because I'm trying to think like what's the different forests, and when all that comes to mind is different seasons, but obviously that isn't how it would work. You couldn't have like a autumnal one down the road and then like some blooming green summer one. So it'd be interesting. And if they put 2 zones, it shows that they either want to differentiate because they've got enough to do it, or whether they're just 2 forest zones on the map somewhere that you can use one and then the other if so be.
And I wonder if there will eventually be sort of like a different town as well, like 2 different town centers. So I'm trying to think of sort of like a GTA 5 map. You know how you've got that sort of area? I can't think what's at the top of the map, and then you've got obviously Los Santos at the bottom of the map.
Yeah. So you like Mount Chiliad up that way.
Yeah, Mount Chiliad, and then you've got that other little town, haven't you? Which is sort of like a little rancher's town. It'd be cool if there was another town that gets brought into it at some point. You can travel between both, and
Alito Bay.
We're not speculating today. We're talking about the facts.
No, but so the fact so far is, and like you say, 16 kilometers. I did work it out. So from our place, Carl, where we are, the distance of the map would, not even as the crow flies. So bear in mind, this is following a road. So if it was as the crow flies, it'd be more. It'd get you to Galgate.
Get out. Don't be swearing. Here. Look at that.
From so if you were to, it'd probably get you a bit further. Yeah, so if you think of that scale, what we've got between us.
Wait, which one's got Galgate's the one past the uni, in it?
Past uni, yeah.
Wow.
So, but that's following a road. So if you imagine it's as the crow flies, you're probably getting
a bit further.
Maybe Fortin, maybe. Yeah. So it's big. It's big. And
it's a lot to explore. Hopefully that, like we were saying, there's enough sort of random events, like environmental storytelling, little things to. I know that we're going to have the randomly generated mines and islands, but I hope there is touches of deliberate things to find and deliberate sort of, just adventures. Yeah.
Well, if you look at go on to the next one, actually.
Let's go. Let's move on to
there might be hints of that.
That was the open world. Now we're talking about the rancher's life. So there's going to be 20 romanceable characters, which is class. There's 20 towny characters. So does that mean dog's just rolling around on the floor? Sorry.
Does that mean?
Does that mean
looking away.
There's a ghost? No. Does that mean there's 20 what did I remember? But there's 40 in total, or is it just that every towny character? It would
suggest that.
Or is it that every towny character is romanceable?
The way I read that is that there's 20 romanceable characters, so everyday people.
Yeah.
And I imagine the townies characters are things like the shopkeep that maybe
Yeah,
isn't, or the
right.
bartender.
Yeah.
So I read that as 40 NPCs in the town.
Yeah.
Or either way, like even
That's a
if you
lot.
could
It's a lot.
romance everyone, that's still a lot. I mean, because it is a town. We're not talking sprawling city. It's like
No, yeah, we're
a
talking like
reasonable place.
yeah. And then the next thing is randomly generated pedestrians, so town visitors. So there'll be people coming through and there'll be traffic on the roads and stuff like that, as well as the
Mm.
40 sort of, I'd say, we'll say 40, so 40 NPCs
Residents.
with,
Yeah.
residents with hopefully some sort of routine and some sort of
Yeah.
scripted sort of gameplay where they'll go set up the shop, they'll do this and that. So
Yeah.
it's going to
I'd
feel
hope.
alive. That it's going to feel, well, not, yeah, well, yeah, it will feel,
Well, yeah.
feel alive and lived in.
If
Which is nice.
the shopkeeper has his house and he goes from his house, the same house every day, you know, at 6:30 in the morning to get up, set up for 7 or 8, whatever. Like, if that is a thing that is in it, that will, especially because we all do it, we all have jobs and we all have routines in life. So, like, being able to see that replicated in the game. So, like, if you are delivering, you know, I know we talked about the milk delivery thing in the previous episode, but like, if you do that at the same time every day, you'll see the same characters. You'll see John going to set up, or you'll see the late night punters coming home from the pub or whatever, and that'll give you that, like you say, that sense of alive, and not just we've copy and pasted a load of NPCs that just aimlessly walk around the block 7 times so it looks lived in. And obviously, the random generated pedestrians will give the fullness, but like knowing that you could go and meet Cindy, you know, she works at the pet shop or whatever, and it's like that's her thing, kind of would be really cool.
The 2 events and seasons that players can take part of, or is it 2 events season? Yeah, is it like there's 2 events that tie to a season that players can take part of? I don't really know what it means by that last sentence.
It could be that they've undecided whether they're going to go with like seasons, it like literally, you know, like season 1, season 2 kind of.
Oh right, that's that. Yeah, I was thinking more sort of like, I know that they have mentioned that sort of Halloween, Christmas will have events on.
Yeah.
So,
but whether that'll be it could actually just be as simple as it's spring, summer, and autumn, winter.
Yeah.
And maybe the map changes quite drastically during those things, and like you say, harvest festivals, spring festivals.
Yeah.
They know they've said they're doing the real world stuff, but whether there'll be maybe like, you know, other events. But yeah, two events / seasons that players can take part. Regardless, it's something for the players to do on top of everything else.
Yeah, it's great. And I do hope when it comes to the sort of seasons, I hope it isn't just an overnight change. I'd love it for it to be built in that when we do start getting closer to winter, the temperature starts steadily dropping over a number of days. Snow starts to come in. It's not just like in Stardew where you wake up and all of a sudden it's summer and everything's dead. You know what I mean? You have to, you're like...
That would be cool. And like you say, like, as you're heading into autumn, just the rainy days become a bit more.
Yeah.
You know, like the weather forecast and stuff is just a bit like it's not sunny all the time, and like you say, temperature changes.
I know that obviously
I don't know how easy that is to do, but
I know that obviously the crops will have to have like a cut-off date of you can only grow this in springtime, which is fine. It's more sort of the what's it called? Sort of just like the look. I can't think what the word is.
The aesthetics of it.
The aesthetics, yeah. It's more sort of the aesthetics of it. Like, yeah, we can still have like the summer stuff growing as we're going into winter, but just have a bit of snow coming in. You know what I mean? Have a bit of this. It's fine. Like, we can all take it that it's a game and plants can survive a bit when the snow's coming down. You know what I mean? And they do, yeah. Well,
they actually do in real life when we've had these mild winters. And we see these reports on like the news saying like daffodils have sprouted X amount of weeks early, and farmers are worried because their potato crops have grown too quick and they're out of season with everything else, and like those things happen, and you can grow them. And in my head, thinking back to our previous episode, we talked about the grade and the quality of an item.
Yeah.
If you grow it in the perfect window, that's fine, but like there's not to say you can't grow it at the end of summer. It
Yeah.
just won't be as good, or might take a bit longer or something. So they could implement it that way. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
So let's move on to the crops. It's a nice segue there, isn't it?
Speaking of, yeah.
So yeah, crops, 80 plantables. That includes 10 seeds that are tied to seasons, 5 fruit plants, 5 fruit tree that are tied to seasons, and 10 fertilizer types. 80 plantables is a lot.
Yeah. So 10 things per season.
Yeah.
Plus 10 fruit plants, plus 10, 5 of each plant and tree.
Right. Yeah, I get you.
So in any given season, you have 20 things that you can
get going.
rotate, which is a lot, because this doesn't even talk about the next section, which obviously we'll get onto, animals. This is just purely growable crops. And I, off the top of my head, couldn't tell you 40 seeds. No. I'd be like, oh yeah, they're growing farms. No idea.
We're currently playing, me and Ellie are currently playing Stardew, and I think we only ever plant about 3 seeds each season at the moment. We've been doing watermelon, strawberries, and blueberries. That's summer. That's done.
Yeah.
Or was that spring? I can't remember. All the seasons are going into one. But yeah, 20. I can't imagine trying to manage that, which will be interesting. It'll make it great. It's definitely not a bad thing, because obviously it's optional. If you can't manage 20, you don't have to.
Yeah, and I don't think this is saying you need to do them all, but like the fact that you could do spring, and you could maybe, like you say, you pick those 3 things. You pick your strawberries, your blueberries, your watermelons. And then when it comes to spring next season, you'd be like, actually, do you know what? I'm going to try
something different.
Tomatoes, cucumbers, like rotate the crops. So you're not stagnating in that kind of, it's the same 3 things. And like having trees as well is actually really cool, because you don't see that in a lot of like farm games. Your head instantly goes to like wheat and corn, and and like the fact that you could be like, well, actually it'd be nice to grow a blueberry plant, strawberry plants, apple trees, pear trees, because they're all seasonal. Like my parental home, we've got a pear tree, and it only grows, and it's great when it does. And like having that kind of nice change, seeing the different fruits and stuff will be,
it's a nice way of sort of, because obviously your house is, I'm losing all the words today, sort of, it's customizable. So your ranch is customizable. It's a nice way of being able to put in sort of, greenery into your build of a ranch, just to make it look aesthetically nice, but it actually have purpose. So your trees can be planted in places, and then each season be producing stuff, but they also just look nice. It's a really nice way of
that you've touched on something there that I wonder if you can keep, especially with trees, because it'd be weird to dig up a tree every year.
Well, that's what I'm
season.
thinking. Yeah, it carries on.
Yeah, and like you say, you place it round your ranch, so you've got maybe your outhouse. If you could build like a little outhouse barn, maybe you paint it red, and you've got apple trees, like red apple trees, so that when it is in season, it proper pops off. But and you could really take it to that kind of aesthetically pleasing. Well, it's a lot, 80 plantables, and that's not to say they won't add more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is only at the moment, and it says subject to change at the front. So yeah, let's get on to the animals. Which this is a big list as well. So they really have gone in, haven't they? So it's like 5 poultry animals, 5 barn dwelling animals, 5 dogs, 5 cats, 20 wild animals, which are strictly for hunting. Or, well, not strictly for hunting, but you'll find them in the wild.
To be hunted,
Yeah. 20 insects for bug catching, 20 fish for fishing, and 20 unique monsters for combat. Which is a lot. I didn't expect 20 unique monsters. I didn't if you imagine these are dungeon bosses and stuff.
Yeah. 100 animals as if we go with that title. 100 things. 100 different assets that'll be drastically different.
Yeah, that's 100 things just outside of the ranch. And then you've got your sort of 20 things that are on your ranch with your poultry animals and your barn dwelling animals and your 5 dogs and your 5 cats. So, yeah, it's a lot. It is really, really a lot.
I'm
especially
trying to
for
think
this stage.
I'm trying to like the poultry animals. It's like a pub quiz, isn't it? 5 poultry animals, and I'm like, chicken, duck, goose.
Yeah, goose.
Like
hen.
Yeah, and flamingo.
We're gonna learn when we're playing the ranches.
But that's it. And like you think, well, that's a lot. The wild animals, 20 wild animals is insane.
Yeah,
like because I know me, I want to get one of each. I want to complete that kind of just go. I've got the deer, I've got the stag, I've got the hare, the whatever they are.
That'd be a nice implementation.
I want to do it
like a hunter's diary. You know that you
can, like a hunter's log,
like a Pokédex. Same aspect. You've seen every animal now.
Catch. Yeah, like with fishing, like this is the biggest carp you've caught, or the heaviest, or I know they do it by weight. But yeah, and 20 unique monsters. It's interesting they put that word because they could have put 20 monsters combat. The fact that it's unique also maybe would suggest that there's different versions of them. So they might be like a goblin. Separate. Yeah, so there might be a goblin, but there might be like 3 levels of goblins. So it might be 20 unique monsters, but within them categories is actually more. They might just be different skin colors and stuff, but unique monsters.
That, and you've got to think that when you're in a dungeon, it's not going to be just 20 characters to fight. They're going to spawn more. So you've got 20 unique
waves.
Waves, and then it's just going to be massive mobs of these 20 unique characters. So very fun.
And I imagine they'll probably split them up into. You won't get them all in one dungeon. So like the dungeoneering aspect of like, you might go in like we've seen in that thing with that huge lava elemental thing at the end on the trailer. Like they may be themed, so you might get 4 types of unique monster in that are themed around the fire. You might go into another one where it's all underwater, like water stuff. Or they can do a lot with that, and I feel like they probably will.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Let's get on to crafting. Because I've just eyed out something that answers your question from the last podcast. It's start at the top. It's got 3 barn, 3 coop types, 2 greenhouse types, 10 buildings for artisan goods, which is sort of transforming fruits to wine. 6 energy producer buildings. So this is what answers your idea of being off the grid. Plus 60 house parts.
Yep.
100 house furnitures. Plus 100 house furnitures. Plus 80 decoration items. Plus 30 cooking recipes. So I'm taking it as there's 60 and above, 100 and above there. That's what I'm taking that the plus adds.
Yeah. Well, even if it weren't,
it's still a lot.
Like you've got, so there's 60 house parts. There'll be the walls, the doors, like the foundations. Like 60. If we took it at base level there, like how many times do you need a square or a triangle floor? Like 60 is a lot. You'll probably get arches involved, and like I know windows will probably be included in that.
And I wonder Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, and the distinguish between house furnitures and decorations. So you'll have your chairs, your tables, and that, but then the art on the wall, the plants, like they've not just gone house furniture and just bunged microwaves, plants, and everything all together. They've gone, no, these are your furnitures, and also here's
Yeah.
how you make a
Yeah.
house a home, if you will.
Yeah. My thing is, I wonder if that 60 house parts is different skins, eras. You know what I mean? Like 60, you could have 10 modern
Mm.
look parts. You could have 10 medieval look parts. You could have 10 brick, like stone,
Yeah,
sand
yeah.
block, stuff like that. So,
That would make sense, and that would actually be cool. That like when you do the co-op side of it and you join, it'd be cool to like come to your farm, see. Obviously, your barn and all that will be all unique anyway. But it'd be cool to be like, oh, you've gone with like the slatted wood effect, and like then you come to mine and I've gone gothic, like
exactly. Yeah.
like whatever, and like seeing those differences and but yeah, the energy producing, obviously that is good.
Yeah. I love
Like
how
that
you
is
just. I love how you said gothic because you're the least gothic person I know.
you don't know me, man. I'm gothic as hell.
It's
No,
just,
I'm really not.
it's
I'm
just like
so
you come
not.
to my place, you see how gothic it is. Like, what?
Black nails, like I just I've got skulls everywhere, and
It's funny.
but maybe that's how I'll theme my
Yeah,
farm.
well,
I can
hey,
be anything I want to
it's
be.
up to you.
Yeah, the energy building, like the 6 that it produces, so that's good, and I like that. Like you were saying, the kind of producing your own energy. It's going to be brilliant. The artisan goods is what piqued me when you were going through that
Yeah.
list. So, like fruits to wine, I'm thinking beers, hops, I'm thinking cheese, like dairy
Oh, yeah, that'd be
products.
nice. Yeah.
Like have a nice little cheese and wine cellar.
Well, yeah, I thought that. I
You
thought,
know,
oh, I wonder if you can. We've only see you could build top level at the moment. I wonder if you can dig down and build cellars in your ranch. And then
that'd
I
be
was
really
thinking,
cool.
if you can do that, I'm well building like secret paths to my barns and stuff like that.
That'd
I
be
mean, I'm
really
not
cool.
building no secret paths.
Yeah. So when you get invited to Carl's instance, don't just randomly dig up because, of course, you definitely won't stumble across a
There
path.
is no secret paths.
No, none.
But yeah, I do
Whatsoever.
like that. It'd be cool, and it gives a lot of sort of future furniture parts. That idea as well, because you could, well, just the idea of sort of like a secret path. You could have that bookcase door, and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah, that's cool. So 10 artisans buildings, 2 greenhouse types. That's cool. The cooking recipes. Now that kind of touches on something on the last episode about whether you could be vegetarian or vegan
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So like the fact that you can actually, you don't just go into the fridge and pull out a carrot and it's like, oh, that's sustained your health for the day. Like
Yeah.
making cool meals would actually be, I'd love that. That would be fun.
I imagine that's going to be quite like Zelda, where if you put, say, 5 items together, you'll get a meal that will then give you a stat dependent on what, a stat boost depending on
maybe
what
like
you
an
put in.
energy boost. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that'll
sometimes
be really cool actually. So it rewards you for making better recipes. So you can just eat a carrot and it might give you an extra 2 energy or whatever the resource maybe will be, or health recovery. Because obviously, if you're going dungeoneering, you're going to need to take food. So maybe having those recipes that do give you that kind of attack bonus or health regen or something, that would be really cool because it gives you an incentive to grow those crops and
and
use them.
in Zelda, as far as I'm aware, when I was playing it, if you put something of like sort of every ingredient, so if you put sort of a piece of meat and then a herb and then some salt and stuff like that, then it'd give you a better meal. So
Yeah,
if you
not just putting 5 potatoes
meat and
together.
chips.
Yeah. And then so that's really cool. And 30 recipes, there's a lot to go with that. But I mean, makes sense if there's 80 plantables. They could be.
And it's only going to just grow all this
pies
stuff, you know what I mean? This is just leaving room for so much DLC. This, you know what I mean? Even just like I said, the housing types, you just get a pack, the medieval pack, and you just get all this equipment to then go and build your thing for £10 or whatever. Because I'd pay for that. I'd pay different aesthetic looks. 100% I would if you could then make it even more your own.
Yeah. Yeah, lovely.
Um,
Can't wait. I'm really hyped for
I'm
this.
so excited for this game. So excited. I had to stop myself yesterday from just chatting in the Discord too much because I'm just like, you need to calm down, Carl. You need to really calm it down. People are trying to just chill out, and you're here just chatting off their ear. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
excited.
good. Yeah, nothing wrong with
Tools
that.
and weapons. Tools and weapons. There's 6 farm tools. These will be what we've seen before: the axe, the pickaxe, the hoe, watering can. 6 close combat weapons. I imagine like swords and knives. Maybe a bat, stuff like that. 6 long range weapons, guns, bow and arrow.
Yeah, you were like guns.
Tomahawk.
When
Is
you
it?
said bat,
Is
then
that?
I was like thinking of a real bat. I don't know
Just
why.
chuck one
My
at
head
him.
just yeah.
3 bomb types, and each tool and weapons are upgradable to 4 different variations, which I didn't expect for the weapons. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I didn't imagine I'd be upgrading my long range weapons 4 times, but that's great.
Yeah, and it includes tools as well. So obviously, like you can get better grade axes,
Yeah.
bows, pitchforks. I was trying to think of the other ones you didn't go, and I was like, nah. I can't wait to learn them and just be like, there'll be some obvious ones. It'll just be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, of course. But yeah, 6 combat,
Lambert?
close combat, and then 6 long range weapons, like you say, guns, bows, throwing axes.
Yeah.
Could be anything,
Yeah.
like shotguns. It depends what it means by gun as well, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, the great variation, and like you say, if you're upgrading each of those 4 times, you're inherently you've gone from 6 long range weapons to
Yeah.
24. And obviously the 6 top tier ones that you could all collect and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's really good. And I like that variation. It'll be good when you are co-oping. It'd be cool to like maybe have one of you have a sword or a big axe or something like a great
Yeah.
axe, and then someone else with the bow and arrow.
I'd love to be able
So you
to
can mix it up.
get different coloured wood on my guns. I don't need too much
Mhm.
custom. You know what I mean? I can't imagine there'll be too much customization. Sort of, you can put a scope on. You can do this, that. Don't mind that, but I would like to be able to colour my weapon to make it match my outfits and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I like a dark hardwood on one gun and a light one, and you know what I mean. Maybe not
Yeah, I mean,
a wooden weapon,
there's
maybe a
nothing
metal
to
weapon.
say that it isn't going to be a thing, because obviously this just talks about the variations, i.e., I imagine. But then the
Stats.
variations might come with like the color to
Yeah.
differentiate. Maybe, I don't know. I'm intrigued. It would be great. 3 bomb types are interesting. I
Yeah.
think we've seen the one which blows down the dungeon
Yeah.
entrance in the thing, but like the fact that there's 2 more.
I reckon there'll be some sort of slowed down time, sort of, like in Deep Rock.
Oh yeah,
Where whatever passes through that area gets slowed a bit so you can attack them.
like a snare.
A
Yeah, that'd be quite
stasis
cool.
type thing, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm intrigued. Can't wait.
Get on to the last one. Vehicles. 10 standard cars, 5 luxury cars, 5 goods delivery vehicles, 5 animal transportation vehicles, 5 bike types, and 5 bicycle types. And then it says under the bottom, it says players can customize the look of every vehicle, which is class.
Perfect.
It just makes it
Absolute.
even more
Yeah.
your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
those good
and
delivery cars, we've got hope. We've got hope yet that we'll be able to do our milk round.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Like, I'm looking at that, and now we've gone through each thing. The 10 artisan goods buildings, like you say, wine. If we say whatever, the cheese and stuff like these things, 5 goods delivery cars would suggest that, like it could be like one needs to be refrigerated.
Yeah.
Like as simple as that. And obviously the animal transportation makes a bit more sense because you're not going to carry a horse round in the same thing as you carry your sheep or your chicken or whatever. And the customization, it'd just be cool because you can theme your ranch, like how you want it. So like your personal cars and that might be a different color, but your like say your delivery, your animals, even like your bicycles or like the Jeep you have on your farm to just whiz around, you could have them all green. So there's like
People know it's you
a
or whatever. Yeah.
uniformity to it. Yeah. And I like the ability that they give you that. And they've said that is, it's not even us speculating. They've said, yeah, every vehicle's customizable.
Awesome.
Sick.
Yeah, there we go. There's all the facts. Excited to see what. Hopefully, they've been saying that there's going to be some news coming in the next couple weeks, couple days. It better drop soon because I go on holiday soon and I do not want to be away for it. If I am, I'll ring in.
Away. It's fine.
We'll do like a call.
Just you on the beach, just like video
calling.
They've added what to the game?
That's it.
Beach.
Well, yeah, cheers for being here again, Mike. Appreciate it.
Pleasure, as always.
Yeah, very excited. If you are still watching this, thank you very much. Give Mike a follow. His link tree is underneath the video this time. It's up there that time, right? Okay.
You did great in the last one. It was brilliant. I watched it back. I was like, yeah, you did it.
Right. It'll be there this time. But yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Take care.